So, moving on to the second presentation, which is about senior-friendly food products. We have Mr. Matthias Kück, who is the CEO of Biozoon of Germany, and he'll present about smooth food, modern nutritional concept for frail and elderly people. Let's invite him to deliver his lecture. Good afternoon, Mr. Kück. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah, how's the weather there?
It's cold over here, only 13 degrees and rainy.
Wow, it's so scorching hot and humid in Korea, so we're kind of jealous. So, if you are ready, can you please share the screen and share the slides and proceed with your presentation?
Yes, I shared the screen already. You should see my screen.
Yes. Please proceed with your presentation.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you very much for inviting me to present this nutrition concept to this broad audience. And by coincidence, I'm expecting this afternoon visitors from Korea who wanted to collaborate with us in the implementation of this nutrition concept in Korea. So we have a 2 days session in the kitchen where we are presenting this nutritional concept in theory and in practice. And we'll see maybe by the end of this year, we will implement smooth food in Korea. So smooth food stands for soft food. This is a nutrition concept for people who have swallowing and chewing disorders. Let me say one word to our company. So we are located very close to Hamburg, which most of you will know probably. And Bremerhaven is the city with the second largest port in Germany. We are 25 people working in the company and producing and processing only powders, food powders. We are offering, besides our own products, we are offering also third-party production. What is important that one has to distinguish between chewing and swallowing problems. Because the latter, the swallowing problems, can have a severe impact on the health situation of elderly. So chewing difficulties or disorders are often symptoms lie in the teeth or in the oral cavity, whereas swallowing disorders are results of certain diseases such as dementia, Alzheimer, cancer, and so on. So what people often do not recognize is that we swallow in average up to 2,000 times per day, mostly unrecognized. For us, it's the healthy people, it's a natural process as long as it functions. However, when this process does, I will go back just a second. However, when this process is impaired, the swallowing disorders can lead to the fact that food, instead of going into the stomach, enters into the lung and accumulates there. You can see there is this trachea will be triggered by the reflux, and when this does not function and does not close in time, there's the dangerous that food accumulates in the lung, and one can develop pneumonia as a result of this. And dysphagia, as this disease is called, concerns much more people than somebody would estimate. It's around 500 million people around the world which are supposed to suffer from dysphagia. And these people need to have special food prepared. As I said before, dysphagia is not often recognized as such. But continuous coughing throughout the day is already a serious symptom that there is a problem. So if a person coughs only once in the morning, once in the afternoon, not. But if this is a continuous process, it's for sure that there's something wrong with the swallowing process. And this means eat and drinking for the people concerned becomes hard labor. And the consequences of undiagnosed dysphagia can be very serious. Of course, it impairs the quality of life because the pleasure of eating and drinking is lost. So eating and drinking is combined with a kind of fear. Because people, as a result, people often refuse to eat and drink for the fear of choking and suffocating, which can lead to weight loss and malnutrition. Something which is very widespread among the elderly in particular is the dehydration. And this can be also be a result that the people drink too less because drinking is associated with pain because of the swallowing problems. So as I said before, if the protective reflexes such as swallowing does not function or absent, an aspiration pneumonia can appear and food enters into the trachea. Therefore, persons with dysphagia are often considered above average from malnutrition, and the deaths of people with undiagnosed malnutrition because of swallowing problems is the most undiagnosed death case in Germany. One estimates that 10% of the people who die in elderly homes die because of aspiration pneumonia caused by dysphagia. So I know from the discussions I had with some colleagues of you at the booth in Essen in Germany, where I meet you, and as well as with discussion of the company who visits us today, that the development of the senior care is at its infancy in Korea. So, but from experience, I can tell you that the senior home or a retirement home is the last place for the people before they the last stage of their life, and therefore meals in retirement homes are important part of the social participation. When you go into a care home, people ask already at breakfast what will be presented for the main course and for dinner. The communal meals are important anchor point in the residents' daily routine. So that is a motivation for them to live. And in particular, for the people concerned from dysphagia, it is important that they get this, ideally the identical food as normal eaters, but just with a modified texture. So I don't know if this is already popular in Korea. In Germany, it's very at the beginning, whereas other countries like United Kingdom or Australia, I know, and Canada, this is much more developed. This is an international initiative which tries to standardize the different level of texture modified foods, so that in every country around the globe, everybody talks about the same. And what we can do is, with our products, we can cover all levels of this initiative, which no other company can at the moment. Not many people know that when a person receives tube feeding, that this is the most severe form of dysphagia. So the people concerned, they often have no taste experience for months and suffer from dry mouth. With the aid of modern food technology, one can transform any liquid food into a bath foam-like foam, as you can see on the picture. And it's taken away with a spoon and put on the tongue of the person concerned. And it explodes with no swallowing needed. So it's on 1 tablespoon you have maybe 2 milliliters of liquid. So it's gone when you put it on the mouth, and there is no need to swallow. But it supports the saliva production and gives the persons concerned taste experience back. So this can be done with a simple apple juice, but as well as with a fish soup. You can do that with wine or even with mouthwash. It doesn't matter. It works with all kind of liquid food. Then what is most commonly done in care homes in Germany is the thickening of food. So thickening of food and beverage means, taking the example of an apple juice, by adding a thickener, you turn this apple juice into a honey-like consistency to allow the controlled flow of the liquid into the stomach, and to avoid that any liquid gets into the trachea. But there are many differences between thickeners for food, and modern thickeners should fulfill the following criteria. First of all, it should not show any post-thickening. So, which means that once you have decided which consistency is needed for the person concerned, the consistency should stay as long as you are allowed to consume the beverage or the food. So even after 3 hours, the consistency, or longer, the consistency should not change. It shall be amylase resistant. This is an enzyme in the mouse saliva which can destroy, for example, the starch in starch-based thickeners. This is often relevant for people who have dementia, because they re-swallow the food back into the mouth, and the food remains there for more than a minute before it's finally swallowed. And during this time, starch-based thickeners will re-dilute again, and you don't have what you wanted, that you have a thickened liquid anymore. As I said before, food is the most important part of the daily life, and therefore one should try to keep the food, the modified food, as authentic as possible. So therefore modern thickeners should not have any impact on the appearance and taste of the liquid or the soup or whatever. Reliability. I mean, only in Germany, one estimates that more than 500,000 beverages are served every day, which are thickened in one way or the other. So there is really the risk that things are done wrong, and there are many things done wrong in this field, we know from experience. Therefore, a product, a thickener, should be reliable and should contain always a dosing spoon with dosing instructions to ensure that the nurses who serve the food have only count the dosing spoons to achieve the correct result. So, and only thickeners who are based on xanthan or who contain xanthan fulfill all these criteria. You can see in the glasses here on the right, you don't see any difference between a thickened food and a non-thickened food. So there's even tap water thickened. It looks like normal water, and it tastes like normal water. Before people receive tube feeding, they usually need porridge type food, which often does not look very appealing and is not very tasty. Or it's made on milk soup or milk rice here in Germany. But with the help of modern food technology, another food form is possible, what is called foam food. So here again, one can transform any liquid food or liquidized food into a soft ice cream consistency. So you see some nice examples. For example, you can puree cucumber or tomato salad, add a certain texturizer, put that into a cream whipper or an electrical blender, and you have a cucumber salad or tomato salad which tastes like the original, but which dilutes in the mouth and can be eaten by people who have a severe impact by dysphagia. So, and again, thanks to the modern texturizers, the food doesn't play a role. It works with any kind of food. It just has to be liquid or liquefied. What is the most important part of the daily nutrition is the main course at lunch in Germany. And at the moment, often the food is just blended with an electrical blender in one pot and served with a spoon. So, which is not very visually appealing. I will show you later some pictures. It can be done much better. Generally, there are basic requirements for pureed food, which means, first of all, it should be piece-free as possible. It should be able to be destroyed without teeth, just with the tongue under the palate. In an ideal case, the meal should be authentic in taste and appearance. And if possible, the residents should receive the same meal as the healthy ones during lunch. And this is possible. So the picture on the left shows you how it's still very common to be done, to be served pureed food in Germany. So this is a beef roulade with white cabbage and potato puree, whereas the white cabbage and the potato puree are blended in once. It doesn't look very appealing. More and more people tend to serve the food with 3 different balloons on a plate to separate between the potato puree, the vegetable, and the meat with the help of an ice spoon. But thanks to the help of modern texturizers and silicone molds, you can copy the original food so that usually you cannot see any optical difference between a pureed food and a normal food. So on the right-hand side, you see the famous German currywurst, curry sausage with fried potatoes. These are some more examples of what is possible. So, as I said before, the food shall be authentic in appearance, taste, and color. It should have a high nutritional value because it's based on a puree. One can add nutrients like high valuable oil or butter to fortify the food. Then, of course, in a daily operation of a care home kitchen, there's not so much time to prepare this food. So therefore, the preparation should be easy, fast, and standardized. It shall be able to be produced in stock and rapidly available and ready to serve. It shall be able to be reheated in any kind of environment, whether a steam oven, a conventional oven, or microwave, because often the people concerned wake up a little bit later than the normal ones and ask for something to eat. And then the chefs shall be able to prepare a plate which can be reheated in the microwave at patient's bed. Since 6 years now, it's also we are also able to produce texture-modified bread, cakes, and pies. So, because breakfast in Germany is a very important.
Excuse me, Mr. Cook, your video is off, so can you please turn it on?
Oh, its video is off. Oh, sorry. Yes. So now, sorry. Yes. So breakfast is
sorry to interrupt
as important
again.
as the main course in Germany.
Off.
And Germany is a country of bread. We have more than 3,000 different breads recipes in Germany. And the standard today still is in Germany that the people concerned from dysphagia are being served with a bread soup or with milk rice or with any other kind of porridge for the morning. Since 6 years, this is now not anymore needed. One can prepare texture-modified bread based on the bread available in the care home. The bread you can produce is based on the bread available, which is being dried, pureed, and then reassembled with the help of a texturizer. The result is a sliced and spreadable bread, which is based on the bread available in the institution, so therefore it has the same taste. But when you put that into the mouth, it dilutes P3. There's no risk for choking. And one nice side effect is that it has a very high protein content, which has a technical background. So the result is a bread which has more than 30% more protein than a normal bread from bakery. So, however, all this what I have shown, or most of it, has to be prepared by the kitchen staff. But without the close collaboration between housekeeping, nursing, and the kitchen, the implementation of smooth food in an institution will fail. The close collaboration is really a must for successful nutritional management of dysphagia. One has to keep in mind that food is much more than just nutrition. It is an important social element in the residents' daily routine. And of course, adequate nutrition has a fundamental influence on the quality of life of the residents, not only nutritionally, but also mentally. And we as a company took part in several scientific studies which showed that food products. So, sorry, what's wrong here? What is with the video? So, sorry. Okay, I will repeat the summary. So, for successful management of dysphagia, the close collaboration between the housekeeping, sorry for the inconvenience caused, I don't know why the camera always turns off, but now it should work. So again, for a successful nutritional management of dysphagia, a close collaboration between housekeeping, nursing, and the kitchen is essential. Because only the nurses know really the needs of the people concerned and can report that back into the kitchen. Whereas they are responsible also for the serving of the food. Therefore, it is important that it's not being destroyed by a spoon by the nurses, because then the kitchen will give up this nice presentation as shown before. One has to keep in mind that food is much more than just nutrition. It is an important social element in the residents' daily routine. And adequate nutrition has a fundamental impact on the quality of life of the residents, not only nutritionally, but also mentally. And finally, we took place in several scientific studies from different universities here in Germany, as well as in Europe, which showed as a result that people who are being served with people with dysphagia, which are being served with smooth food-based products, eat much more than normal people who receive porridge-type food and gained a significant weight. In one study, the gate wine was an average by 1.5 kilo in 6 weeks. So thank you very much. I welcome any questions which may appear.
Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Cook. Despite the technical issues you had, it was very meaningful for us to have it. And if there is any question from our online participants, please leave them on the chat. And again, I see lots of questions, but if we can proceed with the Q&A session right away, let us have a question from Mahoro Patience from the Food Industry Promotional Agency of Korea. Good afternoon, Mahoro.
Good afternoon.
Yes, please deliver your question or comment.
Yes, I hope everybody's hearing me. Are you hearing me easily?
Yes, we can hear
Oh,
you.
yes. Yes, first of all, I would like to thank and congratulate Biozoon and their representative, Matthias Kück, for this dedication to improving the quality of life for senior people suffering from dysphagia. Yes, and it's I think their expertise and the insights are really invaluable and impressive. But throughout the presentation, a question was keeping coming up to my mind regarding the technology and the science behind this smooth food concept. So I would like Matthias Kück to a little bit elaborate more about the technology and science behind the texturizers used in this smooth food concept. Also, how they maintained the food's taste and nutritional value of the food. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I try to keep it simple. So the smooth food concept is based on modern texturizing agents. Texturizers, or called also texturizers. Texturizers are to be found in any industrially produced food, like, for example, yogurts, like ketchup, like industrially produced bread, like in sausages. And our know-how lies in the special combination of different texturizers for a certain application. So that means in order to prepare a foam food, we have a blend of 4 different texturizers, which are cellulose, xanthan gum, maltodextrin, and some iota-carrageenan. So all these are known in supermarket food. So iota-carrageenan, for example, is to be found in industrial ice cream. It's based on algae. It's a hydrocolloid based on algae, and develops the foam structure in combination with cellulose. Cellulose is to be found in, for example, mayonnaise or in salad sauces. And the function of xanthan gum in this blend is to avoid any water release from the foam. And so we have for any special type of food, so for pureed food, we have a different blend of texturizers than for the bread, then for the foam, then for the thickening of liquids. And everybody of us consumes this kind of texturizers on a daily basis because they are found in any industrial-based food product.
Thank you for your answer.
Okay, I hope it answered the question well. And thank you once again, Mr. Matthias Kück, for sharing helpful information on smooth food, which is a modern nutritional concept for frail and elderly people. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.